This session is on the regional versus the national brand. How does it work? How does the regional players look at the national brands or the business as such? How do they cope up with the challenges? How they excel in many of the faculties and emerge as winners? And the young talent that you see are the younger generation, which I was saying that India is a young country. And obviously, when the country is young, the entrepreneurs are also young. So I have 4 of the bright stars in the edible oil industry, and I was eager to discuss with them as to how they look at building brands. Before I proceed, I have a small video to showcase the regional brands. What are they doing? Can we show the small video?
How? Because I use तिरुपति cotton seed oil, जो है टोकोफेरॉल से भरपूर। ये खाने को स्वादिष्ट बनाए और रखे क्रिस्पी, क्रंची और फ्रेश घंटों तक। तिरुपति कॉटन सीड ऑयल मेरे और मेरी फैमिली के लिए बेस्ट।
और जो पूरी फैमिली की देखभाल करे वही ऑयल लीजिए भाई।
कौन सा ऑयल?
फ्रीडम रिफाइंड सनफ्लावर ऑयल 100% प्योर, एकदम लाइट। इससे आप कम तेल में ज्यादा खाना बनाएं और सेहत का ध्यान रखें।
अब से सिर्फ फ्रीडम।
देख के लीजिए।
सलोनी तेल शुद्ध है, जैसे मैं तुम्हारे लिए खाना बनाती हूँ, ढेर सारा प्यार और शुद्धता के साथ। खाना तैयार है। सलोनी कुदरती तेल, स्वाद और पौष्टिकता का मेल।
भाभी जी, जीत का राज?
माधुरी रिफाइंड कुकिंग ऑयल।
अपना एमपी, अपना टेस्ट।
सही पकड़े हैं।
एक्टिव एब्जॉर्ब के साथ माधुरी रिफाइंड कुकिंग ऑयल।
सही पकड़े हैं। సన్ప్యూర్ ఇండియా యొక్క ఓన్లీ ఫిజికలీ రిఫైన్డ్ సన్ఫ్లవర్ ఆయిల్. ఇందులో విటమిన్ ఏ, డి, పుష్కలంగా ఉన్నాయి. TBHQ లాంటి హార్మ్ఫుల్ ప్రిజర్వేటివ్స్ ఉండవు.
Sunpure, India's only physically refined sunflower oil.
मेरा गिफ्ट
राइस ब्रान ऑयल फैट बढ़ने से रोकता है और स्किन का भी ख्याल रखता है। अब इससे अच्छा गिफ्ट तेरे लिए क्या हो सकता है?
रिश्ता प्यार भरा, तोहफा सेहत भरा, सुपर सर्वोत्तम राइस ब्रान ऑयल, स्वाद का उत्सव।
मजेदार स्वाद उन्हीं को मिलता है जिनका काम बोलता है।
बैल कोलू कच्ची घनी सरसों का तेल, नाम ही पहचान है।
So, before I start, I'll just introduce you the panels so that you are acquainted with them. Puneet, he works as the CEO of AP Solvex. He is Ricela is their brand, one of the foremost formidable rice bran oil brand in the country, one of the early starters, and I've shown the way to most of the people in the country. He handles that. Priyam is the king of cotton seed, what we say. He is possibly the world's largest cotton seed oil branded player, if I'm not wrong, Priyam. So he, at his age, is managing this entire business. He is a formidable player in Gujarat. And you know, Gujarat consumes almost double of India per capita consumption. So when you said Gujarat is actually double the people that he's handling, so around 6.5, 7 crore population, but business of 14 crore people. So that is what is Priyam's strengths. Then with me is Mannan Khan. He is the king in Karnataka. There is no other brand better than Sunpure. And Sunpure refined sunflower oil is one of the best known brands in Karnataka, and he is surely the leader there. And then I have Saurabh. He is the person who understands mustard oil and dominating the Bihar, Jharkhand and Northeast market. So they are good branded players. So each of them have a different kind of oil that they handle, but variety that we will see across the thing. Though my first question goes to Priyam. India is a young country, and the consumption story is now emerging. As an entrepreneur, how do you see the consumption story, and how do you see consumption will happen? Gujarat consumes almost 30 kilo per head, highest in the country, and morning, evening, every time you need fried items. Do you think the younger generation will go for it, or will create a new story? And you being the leader in Gujarat, how you look at it?
Hello. So I think consumption in Gujarat, or for that matter in India, is going to be good. We are a growing country. We have a big youth population, and the question about is the youth going to consume more oil or not, we've seen it that it is more of an indulgence. Everyone likes indulgence. Everyone knows that, okay, oils, fats, there are certain kinds of sweets, they're not good, but that's indulgence. And especially Gujaratis, we love indulgence. We love our farsan. So I don't think the consumption is going to go down in any way. I think there's only upside to it. And as you know, that India is one of still the least consuming oil per capita countries in terms when we compare it to the bigger countries like the US. So there is still a long way to go for oil. And I don't think the young generation is going to have a healthy mindset. That's already changing, but it's not going to take away the oil portion anytime soon. Also, there is a lot of population in our country which depend on oil as a huge source of energy. And that population is still relatively higher, who are working, who are doing hard labor, and they need oil and other fats to give them more energy.
Okay, thank you. My next question to Puneet. Puneet, often we hear that the big boys will take away the market. The bigger players can swap your shares as a good brand. How do you see the threats from the national brand, and how do you counter that?
One of the biggest threats that a regional brand sees from a national brand is basically with respect to price war. When a national brand thinks of finishing a regional brand per se, so they will go to any extent, which may mean making losses maybe for some time, but the regional brand, since they do not have such bigger pockets, so they may vanish in some time. That is one of the things that is a threat from a national brand. And second is the efficiencies and economies of scale which a national brand is able to have because of its pan-India presence is a second threat. So to cope up, a regional brand has to do some innovative things, which means they have to create a brand identity which resonates with the local culture, local flavors, has indulgence of maybe local community, so that a brand loyal customer is created who values efforts made by a brand in the local region. So those are some of the elements which a regional brand needs to do.
Very good answer, Puneet. My next question to Mannan. You are a very strong brand in Karnataka, and you are in a town, metro city like Bangalore. It is through and through sun pure, and I have seen that. How do you differentiate from a strong national brand? Because you are such a strong brand regionally. How do you differentiate? And how do you continue to maintain this differentiation?
I think आप ज़्यादा बोल दिए सर नहीं उतना strong नहीं है but thank you. So I think the main important thing here, see we are all selling a commodity. We should be clear about it. So main supply chain, consistency, 365 days, maintaining the quality and be in the market and have that sense of urgency are some of the important things that we have to look at as a regional brand. And we should not let go these principles. Let it be any holiday or anything, need to be there. And with this, technology and all those things, so, you can always be, you can know where the distribution gaps are. So keep pushing and plugging those gaps. These are the some
Very
simple
good.
things.
My next question is to Saurabh. Saurabh, you handle mustard, and these brands are very strong in rural also, I have seen. Urban India is today 33%. So the rural population is surely much bigger. 67% of the Indian population are in rural. What is your view on rural market, and how important?
I think what we do is there's a report called Village Town Data, and we try to have a very strong and robust distribution network so that we can reach to all the tehsils of population till like 10,000 and above and have strong distribution network there. So that is one of the things we do. And we do a lot of activities for, like, we have presence in all the melas, connecting to the jamidars, connecting, like doing wall paintings and hoardings, and we are in connect with the rural area, and we try to give them competitive pricing also at times. So, and the quality always has to stand out. It has to be like the best. There's no question about that.
Okay, my same question to you, Priyam, because Gujarat is also a big market for you, and although urban population of Gujarat is little higher than average India, how do you see the role of rural market, and what have you done?
I think in Gujarat, we've seen growth coming from rural is much higher than from urban. There is a lot of urbanization. People are coming into the urban cities, but the actual growth of demand is coming in from the rural segment. They understand their product, they like their product, and I have seen in Gujarat particularly that the rural consumers are very brand conscious and they're very brand loyal compared to an urban customer who is very flexible when it comes to changing of brands. The rural customer does not want to move from what they're already comfortable with. So unless you give them the best service, you give them a good product, they're not going to go anywhere from your brand. So Gujarat in that case is blessed with brand loyalty, which I don't think a lot of states could proudly say.
Okay, my next question to Puneet is that lot of data churning is required in sales and distribution because you need to understand the consumption pattern, the classification, tier 1, tier 2, retail. Do you subscribe or do you take any advantage of the retail audits reports or market research reports, and how much importance do you give to this in your business?
Yes, at times we need to, and we do subscribe to reports of companies like maybe AC Nielsen, and those help us to analyze where our brand currently stands and what is the gap between our current positioning vis-a-vis the competition. Apart from this, it also helps us to analyze the distribution gaps or the retail outlet gaps which we have when we are positioning our product to maybe class A or class B outlets. So it is very important at times, but with market feedback also coming in from the sales team, we keep on updating our information and reconciling it with the report we get from these companies. Apart from these, even the database which we create internally using the field softwares helps us to keep us updated and analyze what's happening in the market and what needs to be done to take our brand one step forward.
Very good, very good. There is a lot of importance given to data analysis, and that is why I asked them, because the younger generation believes in going through more data churning and understand the trend and markets research, market share. These are all very important part of building the brand. My next question to you, Mannan, is that do you believe in advertising and brand promotion, and do you think it is an investment or an expense?
Definitely, it's an investment. I do believe in advertising. So the method of advertising and the message what you give is very important. So as a long term, you cannot expect a short term results. So definitely you have to continuously invest on the brand building and communicate to the consumer about your brand. What are the USPs? What are the strengths of your brand? So it's an investment, definitely.
Very good. My next question to Saurabh is, going ahead, do you believe in celebrity endorsement? And do you think celebrity adds value to building the brand?
Well, I think before we go for a celebrity, we need to have a very strong distribution network. So like the brand presence has to be there wherever we are promoting the brand. So I think we need to cover a good market before actually endorsing any celebrity. And definitely celebrity adds more trust and connect to the brand. So I feel one has to really explore that how much investment would you be doing and what are the returns you will be getting out of it. So I think you have to actually analyze. And we have seen examples of industries or companies doing big investments on celebrities but failing. So we have to strike the right balance, that how much can we get out of it.
Okay, very good, Saurabh. Same question, little differently to Priyam. Priyam has been using celebrity for endorsement, Kareena Kapoor and Sonam Kapoor. First is, do you have any soft corners for the Kapoor families, or is it that you have rationally decided on these celebrities to endorse your brand?
I would not say that I have any soft corner. It was just a sheer coincidence. I think the rationale behind selecting a celebrity, just getting a celebrity, is not going to work. The rationale behind it needs to connect with the audience, your target audience. We got Sonam Kapoor because she's a fashion icon for the young generation. And we've seen the shift from traditional groundnut oil, cottonseed oil to sunflower oil in Gujarat in the younger generation. So we need to make that connect with that younger generation. That is why we took Sonam as a brand ambassador. When we talk about Kareena, she is now a mother of 2 kids, and that entire family, modern day wife, who's also working, who's also at home taking care of the kids. It gives you that connect with the newer generations. And when the decision comes to them, it's going to definitely their fan following is also going to make a difference, but your product is more important than the fan following. You can get the biggest celebrity, but your product is not good or your connect is not there. It is not going to do anything for any brand for that matter.
Okay, the same question to Puneet. You have not taken any celebrity so far. Do you think something else is more important in building the brand, and how actually have you gone ahead in developing the brand Ricela, because it's quite a strong rice bran oil brand in the country?
So with respect to celebrity, it depends upon the brand presence, that in which all areas you are present. If you are a pan-India brand and you want to connect to the masses or do an ATL activity, brand endorsement using a celebrity is most welcome. But when you are a regional brand, say for example with our edible oil, that is Ricela, so we need to be confined to a particular zone. So for that, endorsing a celebrity requires deep pockets and the cost of acquisition per customer increases. So at that point of time, we need to take a calculated decision with respect to going with a celebrity or going for other options. Like we are involving us more into digital marketing. As we see now also, as of now, many people are even on mobile right now. And we are more present in the real world than in the real world. So digital marketing for a regional brand has become very important, and that is something we are going forward with. We are taking help of influencers who are very much important for a particular health-based customer in our part of the country. Maybe dietitians, doctors, and then we are going for search engine optimizations for our brand, and maybe content writing in neutral videos from top-notch doctors. That is what we are doing for our edible oil brand, which is regionally present. Apart from this, for our another brand, which is for Gamma Oryzon and is available across the country, not in retail outlets, but through online medium, we are getting help of celebrities. Like we got involved with Mary Kom, who is a fitness icon, and recently with Malaika Arora, who is also a fitness icon, so that we are able to connect to the more healthy customer.
Very good, very good. Mannan, do you see the role of professional managers in augmenting and growing your business? If you want to take it 3x, 4x, do you see the role of professional managers in your type of organization or similar kind of organization?
Yes, sir. We definitely see professional managers because our exposure is not that great. So we believe in professional managers and we invest on professional talent. But as a regional brand, it's sometimes difficult for us to hire or attract good talent. But on a long term, investing on a good professional managers, you can scale up the brand, and their thinking and their approach will be very different. Rather, as a owners or as a second generation, our exposures are very limited.
Okay, very good. I'll just, for the sake of information to everyone here, in refined oil consumer pack, as per Nielsen, there are 1857 brands, 1857 brands. 43 brands are national and they contribute 45% of the total volume. And rest of the brands are regional and they contribute 55%. That means there is large number of regional brands getting 55%. But when you go to unrefined oil, that is mustard oil, groundnut oil, sesame, coconut, these four are unrefined oils, and according to Nielsen, 2,500 brands contribute and work in this non-refined oil, and in that, national brands are only 18% share. 82% share comes from local and regional brands. That means in unrefined oil, they are very, very strong. Now, my first question to Saurabh is that with so many brands that you have to fight, now forget national, as far as smaller brands are concerned, local brands are concerned, how do you compete with them and how do you ensure that you stay ahead of them? That is how your brands have gained much more market share than others. So you must have done something.
Well, post-corona, I think the mindset of the consumers has shifted to more healthier oils. So they want to consume more, as per what I understand, more crude oils like groundnut, rice bran, and even mustard oil. So people are becoming more health conscious, and people want to, buy more cold press oils and even the organic oils. For example, my wife in the kitchen, she wants to buy organic some oil. She doesn't use my brand in my home. She buys something else. So definitely people are getting much more conscious, and I think that is the way forward, that we need to have a differentiation. We need to have some value addition to the brand so that, we are able to distinguish and we have a clear USP about how better we are doing compared to other brands.
Okay. My same question to Priyam. Priyam, there are large number of brands in Gujarat and you are fighting with them day in, day out. Many copy your style or brand logo or something. So all these things happen. How do you keep ahead? Because you are far ahead in cottonseed oil in Gujarat for the last 20 years. How do you maintain that leadership and how do you fight with these smaller players, not national, I'm saying?
Initially, in the last 20-25 years since we've been market leaders with a good 40 to 50% market share depending on quarter to quarter. And with the premium, it is quite difficult to maintain it. Now, 2 years back, we did a research with 15,000 people from Gujarat. We obviously subscribe to Nielsen and IMRB, but all those data are from very small audience. So we did a research with 15,000 people across Gujarat. And it turns out that the competition is only in the minds of the wholesalers and in the minds of the retailers. The customer is very clear what they want. So we are just catering to the customers what they want, when they want it, and in the best way possible, keeping the supply chain intact irrespective. During COVID, we were one of the first people in Gujarat or probably in India to start our factories and keep the supply chain going. We did not have even a single day of disturbance in our factory or in our supply chain. That makes a big impact on the brand loyalty, because when a customer is going and they cannot find their brand in times like these, then that trust goes away from that brand. And these are the kind of smaller things over a period of the last 25 years that we've done to make sure during the earthquakes in Bhuj, we were there. During the riots in Godhra, we've been there. So you have to make sure that you're always there for the customer, and the customer is not going to leave you. And a lot of brands are going to keep coming and going. If you're confident on your product, on the strength of your product, and you're making sure that you're doing all the things right in your marketing, then I don't think there is any competition from a regional or a national brand to come in and take your place.
Okay, so now you have been advertising, and you have been, I would say, the most visible edible oil brand in Gujarat. So if you ever go to Gujarat, the hoardings, outdoor hoardings you will find is mostly of Tirupati, and they have consistently built the brand over there. My next question to you is that how important it is to have a range of oil from the consumer's point of view, because most of the regional brands excel in one kind of oil. And I have seen that they are number one in whichever category they want to work, or at least in the top 5. Why is it that they don't have in other varieties of oil? Puneet can first answer, then you answer, because you have more than one.
We as a company had taken a decision to focus on one type of oil only, and that's why our majority of focus is on rice bran oil. Though apart from this, we have some other brands which deal with blended oils or maybe locally preferred cottonseed oil. But you need to have a clear vision as to which particular oil you need to promote. Because when you are promoting a particular type of oil, the customer will also gain a confidence that there is something specific to this oil, and the company is telling the exact correct features which are beneficial for me. So the trust between the customer and the company or the brand increases when you are focused on a particular type of oil.
Okay, same question to Saurabh, because you are master in mustard. How do you see extending the other oil, getting into other oil, or you see, no, I would rather be one oil, but I will be master in it? What is your view?
Well, I believe in becoming the master in one thing, aiming towards perfection and, focusing on one. But at the same time, if you talk about the product portfolio, any goods which you sell, for example, just to complete a truck, the customer doesn't just want one product. They want palmolene also, they want vanaspati also, they want soya, they want sun, they want rice bran, blended oil, they want mustard. So everything. So definitely one should have an umbrella brand and have brand extensions in different products. So that definitely, when you're promoting a brand, so you get, you get supported by all the different products you have in the portfolio. So definitely I think it helps, and it should be in your kitty.
Okay, very good. Now, my last question to this panel, and then open to any questions from the audience. There has been talk about brand extension. How can you leverage the brand strength to other products? And is it desirable to extend the categories? So from edible oil, you get into sugar or wheat, flour or rice, or even any other product that you think, spices. So my question to you, Priyam, do you see advantage of extending the brand? Do you see brand fit in the product that you extend? Do you see distribution fit? And do you see mindset fit from the owners?
I think brand extension is into different categories is very important for a regional brand, because when you are a regional brand, you're strong in only one particular area. Now, what we look at things is, we are a strong brand in this state. How do we get more products? So as your last question was that other oils, in terms of not just cottonseed oil. So we are the number 2 in sunflower oil with very good volumes, very good market share. In corn oil, we are number 1 or number 2. So in the state of Gujarat, we have taken as a responsibility that in terms of all oils, we need to be in the top 2. And we've been able to manage that very well. Rather than ignoring all the other categories completely, we've been trying to do that, and we've achieved good results from it. We recently in August launched wafers and snacks division, which is a completely different distribution, completely different mind game. And we need to switch off the oil brain and we need to switch on the FMCG mind to work in that category. But the customers are knowing the brand, they're knowing the product. And as India's food consumption is going to grow, and not just snacks in terms of staples, all staples. Oil is a staple. And when we talk about other staples, as you had rightly said a few months back when we were in a conference, that the consumption of oil in branded is at around 65 to 70% branded and packaged. And when we compare it to other staples, it is very low in branded and packaged. So there is a huge incremental growth that is going to come eventually with the newer generations coming in who want packaged branded foods. And any brand who is strong right now and who can start working on it will gain huge advantages in any of the products that they're going in. But when you're going into a different product, you also need to see that the brand, if you're not successful or if your product is not good enough, it is also going to hamper your brand. So it has to be very carefully laid out, and your product and your distribution and your strategy needs to be on point to deliver it. Otherwise, it can completely go off and it can hamper the existing business, which is going on right now.
So you have launched Tirupati wafers because I've seen that, and I was wondering that Tirupati edible oil is very, very strong, and then you get into Tirupati wafers. So surely there is because the type of consumers are different. So what kind of challenges you think you will face, or you have just started, so you're getting to learn many things? What is your view on it?
I think that industry is completely different. We are looking at 5 rupees being the maximum sold volume in terms of all packaging. So it is more of a price game, volume game, much like the edible oil industry. But the consumer's preferences is completely different. The target audience is different. We are facing hefty competition because in Gujarat, almost 85 to 90% market share is of Balaji. So as we are strong in oil, they are double the strength in wafers. But that is also an opportunity, because if there is no number 2, there is a huge opening for a number 2, strong number 2 to come in. And that is what we are going to face. We are facing challenges with Balaji, the distribution network. A lot of places, they are telling the retailers, if you're going to take Tirupati, we're not going to give you Balaji, which in itself is something that we are happy and proud that they've never done it. And if they're going to that extent, they consider as a serious threat, which we are wanting to be. But the challenges is a part and parcel of the game. If we're not going to challenge ourselves, if we sit in the comfort zone of what is going on, the oil is going good, your brand is working in edible oils, and you're just stagnant over a period of time, you will be obsolete. So as a company, we need to keep on coming out with newer products. We need to face the challenges head on, and then only we will be able to keep the growth momentum growing. Otherwise, we'll become outdated.
So I think you have also thought about increasing your edible oil sales by entering into wafers, because 18-20% of the oil content of wafers is 20% oil or more? 25%. So whatever wafer you sell, 25% comes from your home. So that is good strategy. Mannan, you have also done extension of your brand, Sun Pure, and I have seen good brand building on it, good exercise in the market. Can you tell us what made you go for brand extension, and what is your reason to think that, yes, distribution fit, brand fit, mindset, because he says it's totally FMCG. So shift of cottonseed oil trading, and then all of a sudden you sit in the room to discuss wafer. Your thought process has to change. What is your view?
Yeah, I think I agree with my friend over here. So overall, yes, definitely we have to do extension with this kind of a volatility. If you are just dependent on edible oil, or it's extension in edible oil, it will be very challenging. So with the investment that you're doing on the distribution or technology, the same thing can be leveraged for high gross margin food products where the margins are intact, but the costs are same. So definitely, yes, we should get into food. So food also, we need to be very wise in selecting because there are a lot of items where there is not much of distribution. For example, nuts. Nuts are not distributed thoroughly. So, with decent gross margins.
Which are the products that you have entered as an extension?
Spices, nuts, and jaggery, where we see double-digit gross margins. We go and select that so that we can have a good penetration.
So good thought for everyone here, that how the regional ustad, I would say, are working and thinking day in, day out. One, they are challenging the big players. They are also challenging themselves and coming out with some innovations. They are as modern, as fast as the multinational companies or bigger companies who have deep pockets. And the fight is going to be much more interesting as we go ahead. And as India becomes more and more brand conscious, becomes health conscious, these regional players will play a very, very big role. And that is what we think India will emerge as one of the best branded commodity staples market in the world. Thank you so much. I am not taking any question. Romy says that I have overshoot. But if there is only one, generally Atul Bhai generally takes one question. But okay, this time he is not taking. Normally he doesn't leave us. But anyway, thank you.